The Chinese are pissed that we shot down that balloon over the weekend, saying the US overreacted and basically said they're reserving their right to retaliate. Now, there's a lot in this video, but it's all important stuff, so I want to break it down for you. First, there's a basic disagreement about what this balloon was. The Pentagon says it was a surveillance balloon meant to spy on the United States, but the Chinese, in several statements, maintain it was one of their unmanned civilian airships used for meteorological purposes that accidentally blew into US airspace. Now, we'll see exactly what it was once the military pulls it out of the Atlantic Ocean and the FBI looks at all of the remaining pieces. It's also worth noting, as I reported in this video on Friday, the US government was able to stop the balloon from actually collecting data while it was over some pretty sensitive areas in our country. Now to the retaliation part of this. We already know relations between the United States and China are super tense. After US fighter jets shot the balloon down over the weekend, China's foreign minister said China will reserve the right to make further necessary responses. And that is being seen as a veiled threat of retaliation, though it's really unspecific. Today, the Chinese said the US side deliberately hyped up the matter, and the use of force was unacceptable and irresponsible. Of course, the United States completely disagrees.
Is a clear violation of our sovereignty, a clear violation of international law, and clearly unacceptable. And we've made that clear to China. Any country that has its airspace violated in this way, I think, would respond similarly. And I can only imagine what the reaction would be in China if they were on the other end.
It's no secret that the United States and China have been spying on each other for years. In fact, just in 2001, a crewed US spy plane flying off the coast of China was forced down after a collision with a Chinese jet. All 24 American service members on board were held in China and interrogated for 10 days. Last week, the Pentagon said the Chinese spy balloon was not an isolated incident. They said, we've seen them before in US airspace under other administrations, but they didn't offer many more details at the time until today. The commander of NORAD says our intelligence agencies learned after the fact of similar Chinese spy balloons floating in US airspace undetected for a brief amount of time under President Trump and at least one other time under President Biden. Former President Trump said he was never made aware of those balloons. The commander of NORAD says he too never detected the balloons, but said there may be possible domain awareness gaps of the military that need to be fixed. And speaking of these balloons, they've been spotted in other countries. Of course, the Pentagon confirmed besides the one that we shot down here over the weekend, they spotted another one over Latin America. Today, the Chinese Foreign Ministry admitted, yeah, that's ours too, and they gave basically the same excuse as they gave us for it. And the Pentagon says that China actually has a fleet of these surveillance balloons, and they've been spotted all over the world in the past, including over Europe and Asia.